Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Fox. Today we're going to talk about the Japanese Grand Prix.
All right, so first off the bat, we're just going to go right into it. Max Verstappen won again. It is interesting, though. Every race this season, hasn't been many, but it's always been a 1-2 for the team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it'll probably be that way with Red Bull finishing 1-2 the rest of the year. But still, it makes it exciting, this fourth race in. So good for him.
Yeah.
However, I know there's a lot of discussion about, is it the driver? Is it the car? Why is Red Bull so dominant? And as we saw today, I think it's the driver.
Yeah.
So yes, Sergio Perez finished second, but he's still so far behind Max. And they did bring upgrades this race.
Yep.
But I really just think it's Max.
And you just look at last season when Max won the championship, the constructor championship by himself, and Sergio was struggling to stay in second. Mm-hmm. So it's the car is very good. Andrew Newey is a genius, right? We're not saying that.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think Max in that car is different than anyone else in that car. Mm-hmm. Now, if you put Leclerc or Sainz or Hamilton in that car, I still think they come in second. Mm-hmm. I think Max is just molded into that car. That's the Matrix where he just plugs in.
The fact, I mentioned it last week, but the fact that he can break simulations with the car, and he's like, that time's not good enough. I'll show you.
Yeah.
I think when you're better than a computer program, that says something, you know?
Yeah, that definitely does. Max is dominant. No real breaking news there. However, there was breaking news this race. Ferrari's strategy didn't suck. The opposite. It was big brain, galaxy brain.
Times two. For both drivers.
Did different strategies.
And they both worked out.
They were
according for those drivers.
Perfect. Chef's kiss.
Yes, if you will.
If you will. You took Leclerc in 8, who's been struggling in qualifying, which is weird.
Well, his qual was, I thought, terrible.
Yeah,
he got one lap.
Yeah, he was not great, which is weird because that's his strong suit. Mm-hmm. So instead, they made him one stop it. So it was a guaranteed 2-stop race. And Leclerc and Ferrari are not known for their tire management. And when they one-stopped Leclerc, we were like, he's done.
Yeah.
And ended up P4 because he overcut Lando Norris by an entire pit stop.
Yeah.
He stayed on mediums until lap 25 or something crazy.
Yeah. Ferrari did a really good job today, and both the drivers managing tire, discussing with the team. But yeah, for him to go 8-4, and then because McLaren looked good today, but they just had Ferrari had a little bit, I think, better of a strategy and pushed the car better. And then Sainz went from 4th to 3rd,
and was comfortably 3rd.
Yeah.
It was, and Sainz did a 2-stop strategy like everybody else, and he pit at the right times. The pit stops were all under 3 seconds. It was weird to see Ferrari look like Red Bull in the strategy.
Yeah, Ferrari had a beautifully done race for both drivers, which is not something you normally see.
Usually, they mess up Leclerc's strategy, and then Sainz has a good strategy in his own head.
Yeah.
And he tells Ferrari what he wants to do. But this time, Ferrari told Leclerc and Sainz both the correct strategy, and it worked beautifully. Mm-hmm. So
just fantastic. And then Charles won driver of the day. So Ferrari guy has won every driver of the day so far this season.
Yeah, so. Sainz, and Leclerc.
Yeah.
So
it'll be guys.
It'll be interesting to see what Ferrari brings upgrades with as good as their drivers are looking right now, and Leclerc learning how to tire manage. Maybe they could pull off a win here and there, maybe another one in the end of the season or something.
Yeah, I think depending on where Sergio Perez finishes, I think Ferrari has an ability to, if not finish second for constructors, maybe make it a little more exciting. Make it a little more exciting with Ferrari constructor title. Because obviously, I feel like Max is just
dominant. Go on.
But depending on where Sergio is, if Ferrari's guys can finish at the top, then maybe.
Especially with this strategy, it'll be interesting to see.
So another
person with a good strategy was Tsunoda, who raced. He was doing passes and overtakes in the most random locations, and they were working.
Yeah, turn 8. Yeah, you can't pass there. Oh, he did.
Oh.
Okay.
He did it while the announcers were saying, you can't pass here. And then he was like, F you announcers.
Yeah.
And passed it. He had an incredible race, which was awesome because it's his home race. He got 10th.
Yep.
So he got points in his home race,
yeah.
which is big for the lower midfield.
Yeah.
So that was another exciting
happy
one.
for him. I love when, that the home driver does well.
Yeah. And on the other side of that coin, though, Albon crashed and broke a chassis again. So 2 races in a row, he's broken a chassis. After he took Sargent's car, and then they didn't give Sargent his car back. Sargent had to do the repaired one. And then Albon, first lap, connected with Daniel Ricciardo. Hard to tell whose fault it was. Kind of looked more like Ricciardo's fault.
It did look like Ricciardo just kind of pushed Albon, but it is that first turn, so race incident, whatever. But yeah, not good for the Williams.
No. But then, they said afterwards that his chassis cracked again. So they barely had 2 cars in Japan. They have 2 weeks before China. Do they show up with 2 cars?
Okay, I think they will be there with 2 cars.
Okay.
Are they repaired with duct tape?
Does Sargent get a car? Or do they just keep both cars for Albon?
Because he needs them?
Because apparently he needs them. Yeah.
Them? I do think they'll probably obviously work on Albon's car first. Like we've all seen how their priorities are.
Which is now Sargent's car.
No, which is not. Yeah, I was like, so does Sargent get his car back?
The new one with the broken chassis.
The new broken one. I feel really bad. I mean, for both of them, but like, come on, Alex, stop breaking things.
That's Sargent's job.
I know he at least finished. Last, but he did finish today. So. I don't know. I do think they'll get it done in time. You got 2 weeks, which is like forever to these guys. But I think it's going to be rough. So
I know. Williams will never financially recover.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
I know. It's been a rough season for them so far for a few teams. But
yeah, because it's them, Haas, and Kick Sauber who don't have any points left. No, Haas has points.
Yeah.
Who's the third one? Kick Sauber?
Alpine.
Oh, Alpine.
That's how we end every single video. Talking about them, just somehow.
I just feel so bad. I forget they exist.
Oh my gosh.
That's sad.
Yeah, well.
But Alpine has 2 weeks to figure it out until China.
I know, it's been a few years since we've been here, so I'm excited.
That should be a good race, hopefully. China's usually a pretty good race when they actually do it. But yeah, so we'll see how China goes in 2 weeks. We got a couple teams scrapping the battle. Japan was better than I thought. Normally it's hard to overtake in Japan because there's only one DRS zone, but I thought plenty of passing, not battle for the lead, but
a few good DRS trains, obviously K-Mag.
K-Mag with the DRS train.
Love it. I was like, every race you just gotta, just for like a few laps.
Every race has to be a 2-stop race. 2-stop races just seem to produce better because everybody's got different strategies.
Yeah, so I was very happy with Japan.
Yeah.
So far, so good this year.
Yeah. All right, well, China's another early one for us.
3 a.m.
So 3 a.m. It's a little bit more of a sleep in. But yeah, we'll see you guys then.